So it's cool to see that they're kind of drawing from a lot of different influences, some of them current, some of them, a little bit into the past. Hey everybody, how's it going? I've got a brand new music video reaction / review coming at you today, and this one is for I'm Fine by Grace, and this is probably an artist that none of you have ever heard about before. This is her debut. She is brand new, literally just debuted on what I believe is a very small, possibly even a new label, but this debut and this song was brought to my attention, and I do like to review songs from the most popular all the way down to like completely brand new, unknown artists. It's something that I really enjoy doing, and the other thing is that this concept is kind of unique, definitely really interesting and kind of different than a lot of the K-pop that I've been seeing recently. So I don't know, I think this might have the potential to be a little bit of a trendsetter, or it might really catch on, but nobody knows yet because, like I said before, it just came out. So let's check out this song together. This is I'm Fine by the brand new artist Grace. Here we go.
Fine, thank you, and you. I'm fine, thank you, and you. I'm Grace. I'm fine, thank you, and you. I'm fine, thank you, and you.
Definitely a really cool, interesting music video.
내 머리를 핸드폰에 적셔. 어떠한 생각을 하더라도 내 머린 피었어. 다 하기 싫다고, 다 안 할 거라고. 잠시 투정을 부리지만 결국 다시 또 How are you? 넌 어때? 에이 에이 넌 어때? How are you? 너도
So far it's reminding me a little bit of like older 21 a little bit, and also Fergie, like from mid-2000s Fergie.
Oh my god, okay I'm ready. 달라보자. Okay I'm ready.
Alright, I like this part.
Oh my god, okay I'm ready.
They opened up the vocal doubles, put some D-tune on there.
Ready. I'm fine, thank you, and you. I'm fine, thank you.
The imagery is just really interesting in this.
I'm fine, thank you, and you. I'm fine, thank you, and you. 영혼이 빨갛게 파랗게 노랗게 더 진하게
Oh man, it just went all hitchhiker.
했는데 지금
Okay, I can dig this.
내가 바란 모습 까맣게 까맣게 검게 타들어 맘속 상하게 How are you? 넌 어때? 에이 에이
It's bizarre,
너도 똑같이 나랑
but like in a really cool, kind of trendy way.
깨좀 그때 How are you? 괜찮은 척하지 마 baby Oh my god Okay I'm ready 달라보자 Okay I'm ready
Backing track is a little bit minimalist, but not too much so to sound like empty or like it's missing something.
I'm ready I'm fine thank you and you
You can hear that minimalism coming in here.
I'm fine. No, you're not. I'm fine. Crazy Grace. So here's the climax. Yeah, 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 yeah. 좀 놀면 못해. Hey, daddy. Hey, 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 mommy.
It's got a lot heavier all of a sudden.
하면 못해. Hey, daddy. I'm fine, thank you, and you. I'm fine, thank you, and you. Come on.
Got lots of extras. Or dancers, I mean.
Everybody say I'm fine, thank you, and you.
And it looks like that's it. A little bit of credits at the end. And I don't recognize that company name, so it's either a new company or it's a very small company that I haven't heard of until now, I guess. Wow, that was interesting. The whole kind of style and concept of that, I feel like was really, really well developed. Like the artist concept, the actual, like, what this artist is going to be and kind of the delivery of the message kind of thing. I felt like maybe that was even more developed than like the song itself, which isn't necessarily a bad thing at all because, sometimes groups come out and they debut with a really good song, but they really don't have a direction, and then like their next releases don't sound anything like it, and they kind of trail off and go downhill from there. In this case, I did like the song. Stylistically, it's not like my personal favorite thing in the world, but what's really interesting about it is that they kind of took some certain recording techniques and musical styles, and they were pulling things from a few different genres that usually I don't really like very much. But kind of the sensibility and aesthetic and the way they put it together into this song, I actually was finding myself enjoying some of those elements that I've actually criticized in other songs because they were done in just enough of a different way that it was like either a little bit annoying or a little bit out of place. This song kind of geniusly took some of those things that usually I don't even like, and they made it likable for me, so that was very, very interesting. And I mentioned Fergie, I also mentioned like earlier 21, and again I'm bringing these references up because this is just a little bit reminiscent of all these different things, and since it's a brand new artist, this is the only song I think that she's released. I don't really have a whole lot to go off of, but I do want to bring up two other comparisons that I didn't talk about that I kind of got reminded of as the song progressed towards the end. FX, obviously you look at this artist and this song and you think, well, this isn't really like what FX does at all, but the kind of overall rapping style is like Fergie combined with FX's kind of sing-talking style a little bit, and a lot of people don't do that sort of sing-talking but not quite rapping but not quite singing thing very well. I felt like she actually did it really well, and FX is like the master group of doing that, I feel like. The other comparison that I'm getting like a little bit stylistically was the Grace from SM, and I'm not talking about their older stuff, I'm talking about like their subunit that put out the thing in, I think it was like 2011, the last thing that they put out before they kind of went on hiatus. This kind of reminds me of that, kind of that like fierceness. I'm definitely getting a little bit of that feeling overall and that kind of quirkiness. And then the last thing that this song, especially the music video, reminded me of was Jolin Tsai, the Chinese language artist. I'm a big fan of hers. And again, this isn't really that similar to anything she's done, but just kind of a little bit like fairy tale, but also fierce and quirkiness of the music video. And also her delivery reminded me just a little bit of that. So it's cool to see that they're kind of drawing from a lot of different influences, some of them current, some of them, a little bit into the past, and then putting it together with a very well thought out, I feel like, artist concept, and kind of wrapping it up with a little bit strange song that actually did work really well stylistically, and just listening to it, it's catchy. Overall, to me, it definitely got my attention to the point where I really feel like I want to check out the next song from this artist for sure. So anyway, let's jump back into this song, analyze it, and I'll try to point out some more things that I didn't mention before. Here we go.
I'm fine, thank you, and you. I'm fine, thank you, and you.
I noticed a couple things about the production. The production is top-notch. It's very, very good. The song sounds huge. The lows are really big, but also tight. One thing that's very uncommon compared to a lot of K-pop girl groups, what do you notice about her vocals going on? For a lot of this, there aren't any vocal doubles or harmonies. You're just hearing the single recording of her voice with effects on it. That's kind of uncommon for K-pop. It's common in the United States, but definitely kind of uncommon for K-pop. And then of course they bring in all the group vocals and the background vocals to support things and accent things. But for a lot of the verses, it's just her voice. And here of course I was talking about, they split out some doubles probably. Sounds like some detune effect on the voice to make it really like thick and rich sounding, which is a cool effect. They use it all the time in K-pop vocals. It's one of my favorite vocal techniques.
Thank you, and you.
This kind of like flow of the words and the rapping and kind of like talk rapping, it reminds me of Fergie and FX at the same time, which is a weird combination that I didn't think I'd ever hear something that like mixed those two things, but here's something that does. You also notice that the instrumental is kind of simplistic, but it's doing things in unison with the vocals that makes it kind of powerful and effective. It's staying out of the way of the vocals.
Thank you and you.
This part I'm not a huge fan of. It's a little too stripped down. The rest of the song, they did a really good job of not quite getting too sparse. That part was a little too sparse. However, the song really takes off there, so I think what they were trying to do is get like a low point energy-wise, so it'd be even greater and it kind of really hits you hard when this part comes in, and they did accomplish that. Kind of hear those weird like falling synthesizer parts, some dissonant stuff, chromatic movement. It's just everything's like a little bit quirky, a little bit off.
Thank you and you.
Everything's just stylistically a little bit slanted. Like you expect it to be one way and it's like a little bit the other way. It's a little like, did I just hear what I think I heard? And they're kind of tweaking your ear doing stuff like that. But just aesthetically, I feel like they got that kind of concept and that kind of strategy right. They didn't do it too much to where it was just wacky or goofy sounding. Like a lot of things, less is more, and they just gave you enough to kind of make you go like, oh, this is kind of a cool, quirky new artist with like, it's got a little bit of that attitude in there, you know, there's some dissonance going on, there's like some shout sections. You know, it's not generic sounding, like this doesn't really sound like what you would expect from K-pop girl group debut or K-pop girl solo artist debut. It just doesn't really fit into what you would imagine when you first hear that term, like the first thing that you think of. But at the same time, they're using like very common, almost simplistic synthesizers that you hear a lot. So they're simultaneously playing around with sounds that you're used to hearing in kind of a basic, simplistic manner, and then they're tweaking it, they're like juicing it with a little bit of weird stuff. You know, they add like a falling synthesizer, or they have her shouting, and they're also doing it visually in the music video. You know, there's some certain parts where it gets a little bit more intense, maybe some things that you don't quite expect that just really quickly come and go, and I thought they did a really good job at executing that, so definitely interesting. So I'm really curious to hear from you guys. What did you guys think about this new artist? If you have heard of this artist, please comment down below and let me know. Be honest though, because I really doubt that any of you have heard of this artist yet. So hopefully this is the first that you've seen anything from her, and so you'll have like a really brand new, quick, fresh opinion, and I'd really like to hear what you guys think. Along the lines of, did you think this was a successful debut? Did it get your attention? Did you become a fan of this artist already? Do you want to hear more from this artist? Do you not want to hear more from this artist? You know, are you intrigued? Do you want to know more about this artist? Do you want to see this artist on my channel, maybe for like an interview or something? Anything like that. Let me know what you guys thought. I'm really interested in hearing, because it's not often that I get a brand new song like this that probably no one has ever seen and no one's heard of the artist. Usually K-pop fans like yourselves, you know, you guys do the hard work and the research, so you've pretty much become aware of like every artist and every song that I'm reviewing on this channel. And even though that's a really good thing, that also means that you've probably already formed some opinions about the group and their music before you've seen something like for the first time. So feel free to leave long, detailed comments. I'll definitely be reading through all of them, and I'll try to respond in the next couple days. And thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction/review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you could share this video all over the place, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, forums, all that stuff really helps me out, and I'll see you guys next time.